Hello and welcome to the PM Show, your weekly roundup of what's new and going on in the modelling world. How are we doing then today, Matt? We all good?
I'm all good, thank you. Yeah, very well.
Very, very nice. Got lots of nice deliveries next year. We got lots of new kits out and about as well. Another very good week for releases and things.
It is, definitely, yes.
I know.
All going off.
It is. It's all kicking off, as I say. I think, as I said on the show last week on Friday, I think I mentioned it as well. I think we've had a delivery in the PM store now pretty much every single day with stuff coming in, with, like, you know, say the pre-orders that we've been waiting on and things like that as well. It's literally been coming in absolute droves at the moment. So it's apologies to everybody who's getting bombarded by invoices, but hey, you had the summer off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not something that can be helped. It's all coming in one go, isn't it? So
I know, and there's some particularly really nice kits in this lot this week as well, which we can go through. As I say, you know, these are the ones we've been sort of waiting on. These are the more bigger releases, shall we say? And so I don't know where you want to start. Do you want to start off with the 109?
I was going to start off with Edard stuff and then work our way up to the...
Okay, go on then. Yeah, go on to the big stuff.
So we'll start off with the Guns Bunny.
Yeah.
So this is another release of Hasegawa's fantastic B25.
It is.
And from, obviously, Edard. And check that out. Check the nose arts.
Full screen with you. There we go.
Well done. There you go.
Some really nice nose arts in there.
Look at that lot.
It is fantastic.
So... Again, this is by far the best kit in scale of a B25 from Hasegawa.
Yes.
And another nice package. So what was the other? Angels of Mercy was the first box in, which I think was the glass nose one. Obviously, this is the strafer version, the longer nose one, which I'm building the shorter nose with the cannon in it, but still, just B25, isn't it?
It is. Very nice indeed.
It's brilliant. And I tell you what, when the old HK48 one comes out, Phil will be definitely building it. What scheme are you going for?
I'll tell you, there is some really nice ones. Yes, you are. We were saying about the B25 is one of those really iconic bombers because you've got so many nice nose arts and schemes, and you know, as you say, you can go with metal or obviously with the olive drab and things in between. You can have invasion stripe. You know, it's one of those aircraft where if you've got a particular look you like, chances are you can do it with the B25.
I tell you what, as well, with Hobby 2000 doing the B26, that's out soon as well, which is another Hasegawa or another gem of an Hasegawa kit. There's two absolutely fantastic 72nd kits there. So, so that's come in.
Very nice.
We've also had the new tooled Wildcat, which obviously you'll be getting sent to you for a review.
Yes, very nice indeed.
So another red odd kit.
Hold on. There we go.
Let's have a look.
That's it.
So obviously they're not the brightest things, but they're, still an iconic aircraft.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
And again, obviously, it goes really nice with the Hellcat family.
Yeah, I don't mind the Wildcat, to be honest. I built the Tamiya one in 48, and that was a lovely kit. So, this one, really nice. So that's that one. And then the last of the Edard stuff, apart from the restock stuff, which I think feeling this might have a book in it, is the Tempest, the Ultimate Tempest. I'm sure this has got a book in it. It's proper heavy.
Is it heavy? Yeah, perhaps it's got a book. The Ultimate Tempest.
Christopher Thomas book about operational service of the Tempest 2. So this has got a book in it, and then 10 decal options, as you can see. Hold
on, let's come in. Yep, very nice.
So, nice.
Nice.
Another boxing of the Tempest, but another great kit, really, isn't it? So
it is really very nice.
So that's that. They've come in. So that's Edard, and obviously we've had some restocks as well in new arrivals. And then we've had some zukimoro in as well. So we've had two versions of the Phantom, the Japanese Phantoms.
Yeah, I'll get the other one up.
This one's going to Phil, and then there's the other version.
Yeah, I'll be building that one. I've been waiting for this one for quite a long time, I'll be honest. I'm a massive fan of the EJ Phantoms, the Japanese Self-Force Phantoms, and their retirement schemes, I think, look absolutely stunning. And if you know me, you'll know I follow a certain YouTube channel, and he's a fantastic. There's no talking, it's just pure jet noise and a bit of background music, and it's absolutely stunning. And again, so as you can see, a very nice kit. And we were saying about this particular kit, and what's great about it as well is that a couple of years ago, zukimoro stuff was really, really expensive. There was a definite price gap between, say, the next best one, which is sort of, Academy. And obviously you have got the Tamiya one now, but that's not the long nose ones. These are the long nose versions. But the thing is, they were always a lot more expensive. And I always used to say, bang for buck, I would rather go with Academy and put a couple of goodies with it than I would go with the zukimoro, because it was a huge gap. But unfortunately now, Academy prices have been steadily going up over the last couple of years, and zukimoris have actually come down a little bit. Yeah. So it's this thing now where the gap is so marginal, I would have to say that's the one to go with. And again, I have got down in here the F4E, the US Air Force one, the early one, but there's something about that particular one I'd really like to have a go and put it in those markings as well, because that's with 301 Squadron, the yellow one there. In the retirement one. So yeah, definitely the one for me. So I'm going to have a go at that next year.
I'm going to say Academy don't do any though, do they? They don't do a long nose one, do they? They just do the D's and C's and J's.
Short nose ones, the Navy versions.
The only other ones was the Azagawa ones, and they're a bit long in the tooth, to say the least now, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
So, if you want a
really nice long nose ones, then that's the way to go, definitely.
And then the
star of the show, we've been waiting for a while now.
Yeah, the piece de resistance, is that how they say it in French?
I think so.
Is obviously the Zukimoro 109, the G14.
Yes.
Which, again, one of these is it's going to be winging its way to you for review. So you're going to have a little pile of stuff coming, so...
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Let's have a look at the box. Do you get
the
figure?
You get the figure in this version. You're not after later ones, because this is the initial release. You always get a bit of something, so... This has been quite popular, to say the least.
Yes.
So yes, you get a little resin figure. There you go. And
very nice.
Properly packed. It's a proper Zukimoro box, that is. There's a lot in it. Stick that there. So yeah, iconic 109, probably now going to be by far the best in 132nd.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And again, I know it's 90 quid, but this is a fully detailed, fully engined, fully everything. It's going to be the ultimate 109 now, isn't it? I should think. Yeah. And let's face it, we might see other versions coming down the line as well. So
we'll get a G6 for sure, won't we? And I reckon, if they're going down that road, they will definitely do a few other versions. So really, in the past couple of weeks, we've had probably the ultimate P40, if you want to call it that. I know it's a Curtis Hawk, as they're calling it, from Great Wall, and then probably the best in scale of a late, shall we say, 109.
Very nice. Again, we've been really spoiled. It was that thing, wasn't it? All the way through the summer, nothing. And we are moaning and scratching and saying it'd be really nice. And obviously, we've had these pre-orders up in some cases for months and months and months. And we're just literally waiting for them to come in. And then we were right. In some ways, we were saying it's getting near, end of the third quarter, fourth quarter time, and suddenly it's gone absolutely mental. It's literally just coming out your ears at the moment. But these are really, really nice kits that we've been waiting for a while, and they're not disappointing either. So really, really nice to see that one. So yes, expect to see the reviews up in the next week or two. It'd be very nice to get some of those out and have a look at those in the flesh, so to speak.
Yeah, like I say, we get some boxed up and out today to you. So that'll be keep you busy, keep you out of mischief for a little bit.
Definitely.
And then obviously, the other one that's coming on, the Armour.
Yeah,
Hurricane, the Dieppe.
Yeah.
Version, deluxe set, as they call them.
Yes, so you get the 3D printed, got bombs and accessories included with that one?
Apparently so.
According to our little thing in the corner. Yes. Yeah. So, but again, fantastic little kit. Absolutely beautiful ones. Lovely box art, yeah.
They say our man does the box art now for Edward and Armour, doesn't he? So they're really good, aren't they?
Very, very nice indeed. But some nice options down in that one as well, because it looks like you can do obviously the Mark II in anything from an A, B or a C.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
So nice one with that one. So you've got nice little options all the way through. So that's a good one. And what else have we got down in here? The Edward Spitfire Trophy Pack Mark C's back.
Yeah, the Mark 5C
pack as well.
Again, look at that box art. It's brilliant.
Yeah, really, really nice. It's nice to see the box art. I think all these companies now, like we've been harping on about it for years, especially if you watch our Thursday shows, we're going on about it a lot. And it seems to be now that that's it. If you're going to do it, you need really nice box art, and you properly, get a professional in, so to speak, and not some guy on Photoshop like some companies do. It sells it absolutely. I think this day and age as well. I know a lot of people said, "Oh, you don't need box arts anymore because it's all virtual stock." You do, because it stands out as a thumbnail. I'm not being funny. When you look at even our site down in here, and you see some of the box arts, they just really, really stand out, and others unfortunately don't too much. But you can see now most of the newer releases have great box arts with them all the way through.
Yeah.
So very, very nice indeed. Some good stuff down in there. So yes. Anything else down in here? Obviously we've got the Bentley weekend edition of the Sock with Camel.
A Bentley Blower.
A Bentley Blower. Yeah.
I don't quite know if it had a supercharger strapped to it. Probably not, because it probably fell to bits.
I was going to say, I think if you put a supercharger on that, it would just blow up. It would just rattle itself to bits, as you say.
Be amazing though, wouldn't it? Stick a supercharger on one. So that's another version of the Camel, obviously the weekend edition, and then the stuff we showed last week, like the Cobra, the Cobra, and some. I tell you what, really sold well. I'm gonna have to get a restock of them. Them Hasegawa weapon sets.
Yes.
They have literally,
sold out. Look.
Well, I think we've got one. That's it. I think that's all we've got left.
It's the only one that's available.
They've just. I know they're not obviously expensive, and they, like we were saying, they must be from the 80s. Got to be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But again, the weapons are there, and especially the little figure one with the van as well.
Yes.
Like that one's unfortunately sold out, but that one really, really sold well. So I'll see if we can get a restock of them. I don't know if the supplier's got any left, but I will have a look, because definitely been popular.
We'll see if we can also get hold of the 48 sets as well. We were talking about before.
Yeah, it was.
As you say, they're not going to break the bank. We know some of the modern ones can be quite costly, the sets. But as you say, these would be more the classic, your Mavericks, your Sidewinders. I know the 48 set comes with basically the air-to-air set, and it's quite nice, I think, because it's from the AIM-9B up to the Mike Lima of all of them. I don't think, because it's too old, you don't get the X, because it's an older one, but you get all the different ones in there. So if you're doing stuff sort of Vietnam era, stuff like that, you've got the older, more classic missiles as well. And obviously, you get all the other weapons ones for grounds and bombs, freefall stuff. And then they do GPS stuff as well. So, it's interesting gear. Handy to have in your stash.
Yeah. Especially if you've got Hasegawa kits that don't come with any weapons and stuff.
This is it.
Yeah.
No, it's always nice to have some options in case you want to put something different on it, isn't it? So
Yeah, definitely. So yes, that's all the new arrivals, which is plenty. Obviously, the 25% still ongoing.
Yeah.
Whittling away at that with the the Meng stuff now, and the Zvezda what's left, and Trumpeter as well. So
yeah, nice. We did secure some more SU-25s. I know a lot of people were saying about that one, because obviously it was out of stock for a while, but we managed to get some more of those in.
Yeah, the price is due to go up on Zvezda.
Yes, it is.
Obviously there's still a bit of a thing around, Zvezda itself, but the prices are going up because you can get extra tax on.
Yes.
Coming out of Russia, shall we say? So, if you do want that one, to be honest with you, whatever regardless of the situation, that is a fantastic kit. To be honest, that SU-25. So.
All right, we will talk about it, because again, no one likes to talk anything Russian, because I've been flamed for it. I've had horrible emails sent to me about when I mentioned it. But I have to say, that is an amazing kit, and it is such a shame it got released when it did, because it literally came out at the beginning of the invasion, and nobody would touch it, no one go near it. And I mentioned it and got flamed, and I'll be honest with you, that's why I haven't done a review of it, because it's not worth the flack that you get. But from a kit point of view, and forgetting all the politics and all the stuff from it, it is a fantastic kit. And we've waited near on decades. I remember doing the KP one donkeys years ago, which is a Reeboks from donkeys years ago. And to get a new tall one, which is really, really nice, is fantastic. It's just a shame that World Events overshadowed it and put it in a bad light.
Time is just everything sometimes. And again, that was like, it is what it is, isn't it? At the end of the day, you can't really, add any more to it. But yeah, it is a real shame, because that would have been you know, like I say, a real popular kit, I think, you know. So,
Yes,
but anyway,
definitely.
it is what it is. So,
It is what
say
it
what
is.
else is just thingy, just to go back up to the top with the Meng stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is the 163 Comet? I built that
Yes.
as a really, really nice kit.
Mm.
It's a bit awkward on the wing joint.
Yeah.
People find out it's a very awkward wing joint, and obviously the fuselage is bit because you've got the proper rocket, you've got a full rocket engine.
Yes.
I joined mine up, but you know it's tiny in it. It's tiny in real life, never mind in any other scales. So 30 seconds actually a nice,
Yes.
you know, a nice scale for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice kit. It's a really good kit. But again, with the Meng stuff as well, it's quite expensive now. So, you know, grab them while you can.
Absolutely.
We have a call, aren't we, to get stuff ready for 3 weeks, is it? Or 4 weeks? How long we got till Florifest?
Hold on, let me check my calendar. We've actually got, it's going to be 3 weeks on the Saturday, which is Saturday the 8th, isn't it? We're going for, which will be Florifest.
Yeah.
So it'll be the 8th and 9th. So just a heads up, obviously we'll be live with you across everywhere from on the 8th and 9th in the mornings and afternoon, both days, for a sort of specials. And obviously PM will be doing deals and special prices and all the rest of it. Flooring models will as well, and no doubt our stockists will as well. So, and the companies we're going to get involved with. So yes, if you are interested in that, pencil that in your diary.
Yes.
So yes, good job. Obviously, the normal specials are up, which is pretty much stationary at the moment because, you know, to be honest, Matt's been absolutely, and Lisa up there have been absolutely flat out dealing with everything. The pre-orders coming in, getting them out, obviously with the postal situation being fluid.
And unfortunately, the passing of our monarch as well as
passing of the monarch as well has put a little bit of a kibosh on a lot of stuff as well. So consequently, pickups and stuff. You know, Matt's been getting them out just as soon as everyone's been paying. But obviously, it's one of those things, getting them all out. But they have been going out. But we will be updating the specials at some point in the very near future. But if you do fancy any of these, grab them whilst they're here, because obviously they will be changing out. So if you fancy a little bit, and obviously we've got the damage box stuff down the bottom. So if you want to get yourself a bit of a bargain down in there, you can do.
Yep.
Some very nice stuff.
So,
right, should we go over to pre-orders?
Yeah, can do.
I think we got a couple of things to the ones down in here. Which ones do you want to start with?
To be honest with you, what really I want to mention is because we're not really updated anything because we're just getting information of actually things that are being released in the future that we'll talk about in a minute. So obviously we did that Hobby 2000 pre-order, which was so short it was unbelievable.
Yes.
For the B-26 Marauders and the Sky Raiders, they're actually, I think, as I speak, winging their way in already.
Yes.
So could be next week, might be the week after. I'm not sure on deliveries on that, but it's going to be very soon. So like I say, that's a very short pre-order. Again, a lot of them have closed because they've come in, as you can see behind. So they've wrapped up.
Yes.
And we haven't really got a lot going on. I mean, we've got the Bell Cobra, which is the special hobby one that's in new arrivals, which ICF rebox with all their gear.
Yeah.
So you get a Bronco and some figures. But yeah, we're looking to change it up. There's some stuff coming down the line that we, you know, so there's going to be new ones next time we do next week's show.
Yes.
There will be new ones up. So as you've given us some information, the A10 from...
Yes. So again, this is one of those ones where we've been waiting for these quite a while. And then all of a sudden, as we can see, thanks to Scalemates over here, because it's the only picture I can get, I've got a little bit of inside stuff on this. I've spoken to it the weekend, and it's due to drop any second now. In fact, it's out in a lot of places.
Right.
So this is the Hobby Boss A10C, which has been fully upgraded, so to speak, and all the rest of it. So apparently it's new parts added to the old kit. It's not like the Academy one, which I think is totally new tooling. This one has been upgraded. So it's got the new cockpit in it, obviously, because it's got a completely new cockpit. And then obviously it's got lots of GPS antennas and various things. It comes with a modern weapon set, all the things like that. So technically it's the standard one, which you say is this one down in here, which I've built. And then it's got a couple of upgraded sprues. So I wouldn't worry about that because that kit is legendary because I've built it many, many times over the years, and it is a fantastic little kit. It goes together really well. You get a full gun, you get a spare barrel with it as well, so you can display it inside and out, and it is actually a really nice kit. On the flip side, though, we're also due to drop shortly as well is the Academy one. So it will be nice to have a look at the Academy one and see exactly what that one actually is. So, like always, everyone's been crying out now for the last, 10 years for an A10C proper one. Because, let's face it, Italeri did one and it wasn't much. It was basically they just put a new instrument panel in it and that was about it. And again, the front end of that one isn't right. The shape's wrong. It's boxy where it's not as boxy in real life, so you need a bit of work. So I would say that if you've ever built the Hobby Boss one, you'll know just how good that one is, so you're on a safe bet with that one. But it will be nice to see Academies, because Academy over the last few years has done a lot with slide molding, and they've done some really innovative sort of design tweaks and things like that for kits to go together, to save you seam lines and stuff like that. So I'll be interested to see how they tackle it as well, especially around the engine nacelles, because that's normally a weak spot with A10s, and around the nose as well to get the shape right. So be an interesting to see that one. The other one is, thanks to old Facebooks, we can see down in here, is Kinetic's new tooled and everything F16, which...
It's an early one, isn't it? That's an early F16 as well.
Yes, it's I can't remember which actually block this one is, because I haven't got that thing. I've just got the very nice photos of it. But again, some things surprised me on this kit, I'll just be honest with you. Like, it hasn't got separately molded slats at the front, because the F16 at rest has them slightly up, if I remember rightly, which is a bit weird because they normally droop down, but they actually go up slightly. But they are posable, and most other manufacturers who do it, like obviously the Tamiya one it's going up against, has them fully posable, but this one actually doesn't. But you can see the parts breakdown on this one is a little bit odd as well, because normally it's the front end to this sort of seam line here.
Yes.
But for some reason, they've done it as a back end, so that you're going to get the entire front wing section, so you don't have this seam line problem, but you will have it at the back, which again is an interesting design tweak of doing it. Because obviously you get the F16 is, if you've ever built one, you'll know it's a bit of a minefield, because they've got different engines, they have different intakes, there's various things to them. And I can understand why they tried to break it down, but one of the common parts is the back end. So it's a bit weird. But also it has got it so it could have the engine displayed on the back end, but you don't actually get the full engine, if you know what I mean. Anyway, this is the big mouth one down in here as well. So you've got all the various parts, the breakdown of the things, and you can see from the photos, the weapons all looks pretty good. It does very much mirror that sort of standard way F16 go together. As you can see down on here, and all the different ones. So we've got different bits for the tails, for the brakes, and all the rest of it, for the brake chutes. There we go, those intakes right the way through. So yeah, it was an interesting way that they've gone about it. A bucket load of weapons, as you might imagine, down in here. Single canopy, and obviously we've got the twin. I'm wondering if they're going to release this as in the future as a twin set, like they did the Hornet. You could have it as a single seat and the 2-seat in the same kit and all the rest of it. But yeah, I was just surprised about the leading edge flaps.
Surely, designing that an F16, like you said, they normally join it at the front, don't they? You have that plug-in. So you've got a single seat and a 2-seat.
Mm-hmm.
So when they do a 2-seat version, there's a lot more, because you've got a wing section where normally you just have the front, wouldn't you? There's a lot more moulding going off.
Yeah.
For that. So, we'll have to, the proof will be in the pudding, as they say, when we get one and you've built it.
It will be. We'll see how one goes together. I must admit, I'd love to have a go at one, just to see. Also, the nice thing is it does come with the radar, which we normally don't see. But again, it's very difficult when you're looking at photos, but this is their photos, so they tend to be the best to get. It just looks a little bit crude, not as sharp and crisp as I was sort of hoping for as well, because obviously this is their new generation, and having built their new Hornet Gold Series, I was sort of expecting like that. But if you look at the riveting, it just looks a little bit like it's been re-riveted, which it could have been. I'm not saying it is, but this area here especially looks like it's had some help, but it may be molded like that. But yeah, as I say, it's all there. But as I say, the slats surprised me. I thought they'd have them as a separate. That's the only thing. The rest of it all looks very nice. Got some very nice, good details. The gear, the bits and pieces. As I say, you've got the earlier and the later bits and pieces on these as well. So you say there's the earlier, the one, weaponry, the usual bits and pieces. So yeah, it's all there. Just that I don't know why, but I was sort of expecting more, if that makes sense.
Because you like an F16.
I do like an F16. And like, you know, the ejector pin mark just there. Yeah. Don't know. I was expecting more. That's all I'm going to say. You know what they say. Shouldn't, you know. But yes. I think it's just one of those ones. But it'd be interesting to get that kit out and have a look. But I'm just thinking, when I've seen, obviously I've built their Harriers and their other bits and pieces as well. And I don't know, I thought they were sort of really pushing the envelope with these ones. And that one just looks like a mediocre, small step, shall we say. I'm not going to say it's a step backwards, because clearly it's not. It's just that I was expecting a bigger leap forward in it. If that makes sense.
I've just having a look on a certain website, and guess what's due out in future releases soon?
What's that?
The Mandalorian.
Oh, right. Himself, as a figure?
Yeah, and then the child.
Oh, right, yes.
Because they would do out, you know, we mentioned at the beginning of the year, weren't they? So now they're up, so it looks like they're due out, you know, very soon, because we've got a pre-order on the Mandalorian, I'm sure we have.
Yes.
The actual figure itself, so that's from Revell, obviously, but if you're in the UK.
Definitely. And also we've got Andor coming out in the next week or 2 weeks, is it? The new Disney Plus one for Andor. Yeah. And then obviously there'll be season 3 of The Mandalorian, I think, after that.
Oh, there's a lot going off as well. And actually, one of my favouriteest manufacturers seems to be back in the game, which is Mini Art, which is really nice to see, because they've gone missing, shall we say, for a long time. There's rumours they were, you know, they're not obviously packed up or anything, but obviously what had gone off in the Ukraine, understandably, it had all been pushed to one side. But yeah, they've made a couple of announcements, and I think they put a post up as well, you know, and saying now that they're back up and running so properly. So that's good, because obviously ICM have carried on. They're getting their release. Hopefully the Beauforts will be out in the next week or 2.
Yes.
So that should be in, and whatever else they've coming out in September. I know Master Box are still going. They've got figures and stuff coming out, their releases. But Mini Art was the other one that seems to have gone really, really quiet. But yeah, there's stuff coming out from them. So good news all round, I think.
Very good. So I'm still waiting for their P47.
Yeah, somebody put that up actually. When this thing that was, because it's another version of the T-34s coming out, the T-34-85, the Yugoslav wars, as they're calling it, and then somebody put, hopefully they'll see the P47 with a comment. And I think if they're back up and running and you know, everything is a go, then hopefully we will see it probably next year. Now obviously this year's, you know, coming to an end. I don't think it'll be this year, but but yeah, no, good. It's always good news, that.
It is, definitely. Yes. It's really nice to see that, obviously, with all the, you know, the companies, you know, out of their backup.
Let's be honest, to say the least. There's a lot of good manufacturers in the Ukraine, to say the least.
Absolutely. Well, we've often said, isn't it, and we've been harping on about the sort of, you know, Eastern European companies over the years. From my personal point of view, I think are the manufacturers who to watch, because they've just come from, you know, the kits used to be, let's face it, a bit dodgy, to absolutely stunning, you know, and we've seen some of the best, you know, new tools that have been coming out of late, and they're not overpriced either. You know, it's really one of those things, is there's nothing really to fault them on. And then obviously this happened, and a lot of us, me included, were incredibly thinking that's probably it. I can't, you know, they're going to be out of action for a long time, and they've carried on right the way through what everything's been going on as well. So I tip my hat to you guys. You're doing a fantastic job and keeping it all going, and you know,
absolutely, no.
Looking forward to building lots of them.
Yep, definitely. So
nice.
All good. No, it's all good. It's all positive. So.
Cool.
Yeah. So like I say, just keep an eye out. I mean, we'll mention it at some point, but there will be some new pre-orders going up, which is going to be some nice stuff. And I think, like I say, some more stuff coming in.
Yes.
In the next few weeks, by the end of the month. So yeah, it's like I say, we're definitely, as we keep saying, fully into modelling season again, especially here in the UK. Winter's on its way.
Yeah.
nights are drawing in, and and obviously things are being released. So
again, it created, well, like we've often said, isn't it? It wouldn't have been so bad in the summer if you had new kit releases being dripped in. But I think what happens is, because there's nothing really happening, it just subdues absolutely everything from the hobby. But now we're getting new kit releases coming out and there are other bits and pieces down the line. It creates that little bit of buzz, a little bit of excitement. You know, the interest is going. There's new kit reviews to see. There's new, items about it being released, and then obviously it sparks the old mojo. I know we've spoken about on other shows about losing your mojo for modelling. But when you get new kits coming down the line, that's the pinnacle, because that's what grabs you. That if somebody's re-releasing a new paint, it's like, oh, what? And but if you're releasing a new kit, it has that sort of buzz to it and everything else. So it's really nice to get it going again, because again, it's definitely, as I say, from the site's point of view, traffic has increased tenfold over the last month. So yeah, definitely, very, very good. Right, should we end up on some questions?
Yeah,
we've only got 3.
Oh, well, that's 3 questions.
Okay, so Lindsay says, hi gents, couple of questions. I can't remember if we did this one last week or not, so we'll do it again. It goes, what's the best CA glue to use? Let's say me and Matt are both converts.
I think we did do this last week with magnet.
But magnet glue, it's
and Black Widow. I ain't got Black Widow here, but I like Black Widow, as I was using it as a filler yesterday, super glue filler, because I couldn't get my paste to work because I think I've got the wrong talc or baby powder, whatever you want to call it. It just kept turning into a blob. Yeah. So I was using Black Widow, and actually it's really good. It's a really good
and I did do, hence this isn't just I have a tray of white powder on my desk, but that is actually talcum powder or French chalk, and I used it for seam filling down in here yesterday and under here, and absolutely perfect. Loved it. Easy to do. It's also saying he's building the new FX bucket. We definitely did this one, and he was talking about using microsolve to put them, the belts and everything else, onto foil. Like I said before, what I would do is water down a little bit of PVA glue, put a smidgen of that right the way over the foil, take your actual decal in water as you normally would do, take it off, lay it over the foil, and then wipe off your excess, let it dry, and then cut it out. And that way, because the PVA glue, it's more bendable, it makes everything flex more, and it's less likely to crack and split and all the rest of it, and that's the way I do it. Chris says, question for the team. On Thursday show, Matt mentioned about using some turf and vegetation products from AK Interactive. In your opinion, how do these products stack up against railroad products?
Scale is one big thing, because obviously I work in 35th mainly, and they're to scale for 35th. So it's not just, AK, they've done the trees, and I've had, this was my, because obviously the people viewing this, unless they remember, can't see my sort of vlog. So I was showing some stuff that had come in for me for a future project, which was the AK sort of bushes and some foliage, and I've done the trees as well, which I've shown. It's all down to scale. Are they really good products? Don't get me wrong, they're not. I won't say they're the cheapest. I won't say they're overly expensive, but there's a company called Mini Nature as well. There's a few companies now out there, Diorama Precipe, I think they call, which are in Italy, do a lot of, I think they do a lot of natural stuff. And for the life of me, you remember this. When we had Kev up doing a demo? Yes. And he was making pine trees, and he used a natural plant. What plant was it? I'm going to have to message him, because I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to even tell my other half. I'm like, we need one of these plants, because he just snips them off, and you can put them in a fluid, can't you? Yeah. Which I've got, which neutralises them so they don't rot. I think he uses glycerin, I think, is one, but AK do one, which I've got. You dip it in that, and then natural plants, it stops them rotting and keeps them that. And I tell you what, I can't remember what plant. Asparagus plant springs to mind, but I can't remember if it was. Because you eat asparagus, don't you? Yes. I don't think it was. It was a different plant. Anyway, I'll message him. I keep forgetting. But
I knew he was talking about for scale grit. One of the best ones is to get it out of your gutter.
I've been in the garden filtering soil and then baking it. I'm baking it in the oven, a baking tray and a piece of paper to get all the, I don't know, whatever's in there,
bacteria
and dry it all.
Moisture. Yeah,
and then use that as well as a natural soil. I mean, a lot of people do that. It's a very common thing to do anyway, but actually it does work. It's a good one. There's loads of things as you can buy. But actually for foliage and trees, obviously there's loads and loads of books out there and things of how to make your own scratch build them, or you can actually buy now proper commercial ones. But going back to his question, it's I would say scale.
Yes.
If I'm honest, I mean static grass is a bit different because you tend to get that in 2 mil, 3 mil, 6 mil. I don't know. There's quite a few different grades of static grass, isn't there? Besides the grass matting and all. I mean, I could go on for hours of this. Obviously, as you can tell, I could go off on one, so keep it short. But yes, it's good product. And I say I'll be doing a base using it, so you will see it in action.
Cool. Good job. Last up, Graham says, Matt, have you seen one of these?
Got one.
Model brick engraver. You were saying it's a bit of a nightmare to put together, though, wasn't it?
It's a 3D printed. Yeah, it's not very expensive. I've actually got one. It arrived last week. And putting it together, obviously you get your blades.
Yeah.
And then all the grey bits are 3D printed, and you get a couple of nuts and bolts, and you have to screw it all together and slide the blades in. I've kind of tested it a little bit, but not properly. I'm going to have a bit of a play with it and see. Yeah, I mean, you can obviously do it with a ruler and a blade. I'm thinking, well, as a lazy I am, the quickest and easiest way to get it marked up and just scribe along with that, and you can get, 4 or 5 rows of bricks, is it?
Yes, yeah,
and then
4 rows of bricks.
What you're supposed to do is, because I'm thinking, well, it's all right going sort of across, but obviously the brick's downwards, but you're supposed to take a couple of the blades out so you've got the right gap.
Oh, right, okay.
But there's a couple of scales of them. You've got to be careful because there's one for 35th and one for 72nd and 48th. So I've got the 48 because of the gap between the blades, obviously, corresponds with the scale.
Yeah.
And then you widen it. There's a couple of other bits of tools in there that you just widen the bricks and stuff to make for mortar and that. So, interesting. I thought, well, I've seen it. I think I got it off eBay, to be honest. I've seen it on eBay and thought, well, for what it is, I'll see if it's any good or not. You know, it's one of them things run about with tools, isn't it?
Yes.
If it's any good or not. So, yes.
Very good. Excellent.
I'll show it tomorrow, actually.
All right. Bring it on tomorrow night. We can watch it tomorrow night.
See how many fingers I can relieve myself of tomorrow when I pick it up. Honestly,
well, because it's got 5 blades in a row, you can't even sew it together when you cut your finger.
I'll tell you what, as well, it's literally that big.
Oh, right.
You'd think it'd be a bit bigger. I was thinking it'd be a bit bigger, so you can. But it's. Yeah, I'll show you tomorrow anyway. Yeah, it's not very big tool. So yeah.
Fair enough. Cool. Right. Okay then, guys. We will leave it right there. Don't forget, you get all your bits and pieces over at the PM Models store. So if you want to pop in, we've got everything you can ever imagine. Got all your paints, your thinners, your glues, and as I say, lots of other bits and pieces. All your kits. So if you pop along and have a look over there, over at the PM Models UK.com store, you can get all your stuff down in there. We'll be live with you tomorrow night for members at 7:30. So if you want to come along and join in with that one, that'd be absolutely great. Remember, get your questions up nice and early so we can do a bit of research and find out what the answers are. That'd be great as well. In the meantime, Matt will be busy off getting that lot all packed up and ready out to you. If you guys have got it all on pre-order, or obviously you can buy it now, it is available on the site as well, so you can get your stuff there. So yes, good job. Right, okay then, Matt, we will leave it right there. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody, today. We will see you all again. Happy modelling. Take care. Bye.
Bye.